Hello, everyone, and welcome to a weekend packed with lots of ski jumping action. We obviously got the Ski Flying World Championships already underway in Oberstdorf. We also got the Women's World Cup in Sapporo, but we also got live streams from Eisenerz for you. The FIS Intercontinental Cup for women and Continental Cup for men will be held here in the Erzberg Arena. My name is Luis Holuch, and I'm looking forward to be your commentator for the 4 competitions we will get to see here in Austria. We are in the federal state of Styria, which is also being called the Green Heart of Austria, but we are more than happy to witness this cozy white winter landscape. And obviously our main focus is the ski jumping hill here in the Erzberg Arena, the Erzberg Schanze. A normal hill with a K-point of 98 and a hill size of 109 meters. And this will be the place where we witness the action. And we're starting our weekend program with the FIS Intercontinental Cup in women's ski jumping. 42 competitors representing 11 different nations are on the start. And our Austrian hosts have sent quite a few in order to represent their country and also show good performances on their home hill at the 3rd competition in course of the winter season. So we will see a treble of Austrians opening this competition. Earlier we've already seen the training, one jump and also one jump in the trial round, as we already see the first competitor today, which is Sophie Kotbauer, 22 years old, from Austria. You can also follow along. Obviously, the red lines are marked on the landing slope. As I've said, the first one at 98 meters, the second one at 109 meters. First distance in this competition, 88.5 for Sophie Kotbauer from Hinzenbach. So a World Cup host to be coming up after the Olympic Games in Milano Cortina. Next up, Magdalena Dobler, 17 years old, from Chaguns, so the western end of Austria. As you can see, we are starting from gate number 30, which was also the gate we saw earlier in the trial round. And she matches the distance of her teammate with 88.5 meters, but goes into second position as she got slightly lower style points. Next up on the start, Elisa Deubler from Salzkammergut, 19 years of age. And she was reasonably slower than her teammates already in the inrun track, and this also results in a lower distance of 75 meters, so third place for Elisa right now. It's difficult to predict how much you need in order to reach the final rounds of the actually very strong Slovenian team. She's already the first one, jumping close to the K-point line, at least 96.5 meters for Jirica, a member of the Talentful Club in Jiri. So obviously that's quite a clear lead for her. We say welcome back to the ski jumping circuit, Tara Gareth-T. the US American, obviously competitor in biathlon and also Nordic Combined, but she is also giving ski jumping, specialized ski jumping, a try, and this should be good enough for second place for the 32-year-old with 93.5 meters. Next on the start, Alisa Sedjova, the first representative of Kazakhstan, scored double points in the Intercontinental Cup this summer in Hinterzarten, actually. So let's see if she is able to continue that also in the winter. I'm afraid that's a bit too short for Alisa. 74 meters, putting her into fifth place at the moment. As we move back to the top to see the jump of Alvine Holz. She was the strongest in the training round with 101 meters. The ski jumper from Berlin, actually. She was watching the Olympic Winter Games 2018 in Pyeongchang and also the Olympic gold medal of Andreas Wellinger, and then decided to give ski jumping a try, and this brought her right here and to 97.5 meters, giving her the lead, 2.7 points over Jirica Jesenko. The fourth Austrian inside this competition, Pia Stütz, born in 2009, so only 16 years of age, the ski jumper from Schwarzach, the home club of Stefan Kraft, and also Chiara Kreuzer, who is also on the start list today. That's a pretty solid attempt for Pia. 95 meters. And because she's getting plus compensation from the wind calculation, she is taking over second position. Tinkara Komar up next. Had a couple of World Cup appearances this season already, and also scored points in Falun on the normal hill actually. And that might have been the first jump over the K-point distance, 99.5 meters for Tinkara Komar, the younger of the two Komar sisters. The other one, Katra, currently competing in Sapporo at the World Cup. That is obviously giving her the lead for now, as we see Caroline Rechard from France. Last season, she made her fairy tale comeback here on this particular hill after 13 years of absence in the international competitions. There it was P20 and P29 for her. Now a distance of 81.5 meters, putting her into 8th position. As we skip Jemay Wingard from the United States, who is not on the start today, so we move over to Isadora Kopac, the third Slovenian and the second representative of SSK Norica Žiri. Is nominated for the World Cup in Ljubno only a couple of weeks ago. And here she is jumping on the same level as her teammates previously, 95.5 meters for Isadora. And that puts her into second position, only 1.3 points behind Tinkara Komar. Next up, also very experienced athletes, despite being only 24 years of age, Nicole Konderla-Juroszek for Poland. Had a couple of World Cup appearances, but wasn't able to score any World Cup points. So let's see how it's going for her in the Intercontinental Cup. .86 meters for Nicole, currently in 7th position. So as Jemay Wingard is not competing, we obviously have only 11 athletes that possibly don't qualify for the second round due to their jumping performance. As we see Viktoria Ruljova from Kazakhstan. Also only 17 years of age, 75.5 meters for Victoria, which puts her into 11th place at the moment. She's still waiting for her first Intercontinental Cup points this season. So possibly the wait will continue even a bit more, unfortunately. This is Ria Kindlimann from Switzerland. Solid attempt by the 23-year-old, 93 meters. So that should definitely be enough in order to advance to the final round. 7th position at the moment for Rea. And now we're going to witness another comeback. Veronika Jenšová from Czechia. She suffered a severe knee injury at the end of last season, but we're happy to welcome her back in the international competitions. Obviously, it's an ongoing process for her, finding the confidence into her technique and also into her knee. 86 meters for Vercha and 12th position at the moment. And here's actually another comeback. Kamila Karpiel for Poland. The first international appearance since August 2022 for her. Fairly decent, we gotta say. 89.5 meters. So she should have the possibility to advance into the second round with that jump, currently in 8th position. So that was a solid first impression in her comeback journey. Next up, Kaya Copenhaver. So after her teammate Jamae Wingard not on the start, she's the second American we're going to see. Ooh. She barely got over the null there, unfortunately. Only 54 meters for Kaya. And that sadly is putting her into 7th position at the moment. But the good thing is the next chance will be coming up tomorrow. And here we see Emilie Teubner, the next German. The longest jump in quite a while for Emilie. 94.5 meters for the ski jumper from Rothenburg. Same home club as, for instance, Team Olympic champion of 2014 Andreas Wank and recently also Josephine Laue. This is Jessica Malsiner for Italy. Obviously our Olympic hosts in less than 2 weeks. We don't know yet if she's going to be present there, but that jump, pretty decent. 99.5 meters. And that puts her into 3rd position at the moment. Currently the first 8 already qualified for the second round. And I've mentioned her name earlier, and now she's on the start. Chiara Kreuzer. That was a distance of 87 meters, so she puts her name onto the waiting list in order to advance to the second round. 14th rank only at the moment for her, which also means that Emilie Teubner, we saw just a couple of jumpers ago, makes her way into the second round. Taya Sitar, the next of the hopeful Slovenian talents. And she's putting herself right into the mix with her teammates. 95.5 meters the distance for Taya. 7th place right behind Jerica Jesenko. Bib number 23, Natalie Nejetlova of Czechia, was not permitted to start, so we already see the jump of Anastasia Gorunyova. The last representative of Kazakhstan in this first round. 77.5 meters the distance for her. And it's a fairly even match between the 3 Kazakhstani jumpers. But I'm afraid none of them will get another jump today as we move over to Luise Tritscher, the next Austrian. Recently gained her first experiences in the World Cup at Villach. And still the best Austrian as for now is Pia Stütz, currently on 5th position. Luise qualified for the final rounds with 11th place at the moment. And the reason for Nejedlova not being permitted to start was that she didn't pass the crutch control on the start. You can also see it in the insert on top. And now we're going to see the jump of Estella Hasrick from the United States. .77 meters for her. 20th position, so all eyes will be soon on Samantha Masuga, the last American we're going to see in this first round. But now on the start, Sara Pokorny, the first athlete from Vienna we're going to see actually today. And she's showing us a pretty decent jump. Distance close to the K-point line. Yes, exactly. 96 meters. So absolutely no problem for Sara to advance into the second round. 5th position at the moment for her. And there she is, Samantha Masuga. Already competed at one World Championships. But she's obviously struggling a bit at the moment. 80.5 meters, so we might check if that gives the chance for a different athlete in order to reach the second round. Yes, Magdalena Dobler, likely to score her first Intercontinental Cup points this season. With number 29 from Czechia, Barbora Stepankova. Also only 16 years of age, the athlete from Liberec. But with 86.5 meters, right in the mix, and qualified for the second round, which is obviously first and foremost the first task for these young athletes. And here comes the second of the two Italians, Martina Ambrosi. Yeah, fairly improvement for her after a difficult start in the 2 rounds earlier. Now 91.5 meters for Martina, who spent most of her education actually in Austria. Was a student of the famous skiing high school in Stams. Kim Emi Duszek, the German, competing for the ski club Wernigerode. And this must have been the longest jump we have witnessed in this first round. 101.5 meters, the first athlete to beat the 100 meters mark, and obviously giving her the current lead. So the fight is on for the victory today. And let's see if also Simone Buff will have a word to say, and that's the second and last athlete from Switzerland in this first round. The 21-year-old from Einsiedeln with a distance of 92.5 meters. Currently in the tight packed midfield with rank number 14. Coming up in the next bib numbers, a couple of hopeful Finnish athletes. The first one, Åsa Ture. Ah, there we go. This possibly was even longer than Kim Amy Dusek's jump, and that's how it is. 102.5 meters. Åsa Ture takes the lead in this first round. So it seems like the jury has perfectly chosen the in-run length for the best athletes, and one of them surely also is Sofia Mattila, who is actually part of the Finnish team for the Olympic Games in Milano Cortina. But she's not quite able to keep up with her teammates. Still an okay jump for her with 93.5 meters. And as close as the field's spread is in this midfield, there are still quite a few places to be gained in the second round. But for now, Mattila on 11th place as we complete the Finnish trial with Julia Eikier. She had the longest jump in the trial round with 102.5 meters. Not quite, but she's still possibly able to reach a good position to attack from in the second round with these 95.5 meters. But it's only 10th position at the moment, so the way to a podium might be a bit too long for her. Hanna Wiegele also recently competed in the World Cup in Ljubno more specifically, and scored double points there. Also close to the K-point line. She previously admitted that this one is not her favorite jumping hill, but she is taking the challenge. 98 meters exactly the K-point distance for Hanna. And this is putting her into 5th position. And I've mentioned the city name of Vienna before. And here we see the second athlete from Vienna, Megan Watzak, the 18-year-old. Also close to the K-point line. Fairly decent, 95.5 meters. Pretty much no wind compensation for her on this calm Saturday morning. 11th position for Megan as we move over to Lia Böhme. Another strong performance from a German athlete. 101 meters, and she even takes the pole position inside the German team with that performance. Second place at the moment, 3 points, 2 points behind still leader Åsa Ture. Taja Koshir, ski jumper from Ljubljana, 19 years of age. .5 meters, but you can also see it in the compensation. She didn't have quite the luck with the conditions. 8.3 points, that's quite a high compensation for her. The fourth highest in this first round. 12th position at the moment, but we already move over to the next Slovenian, Aida Kožniek, who scored a third place recently in Notodden. At the first venue in the Intercontinental Cup this season. 94.5 meters for Aida, and she gets an even higher compensation with plus 10.3 points. So probably the higher bib numbers, facing the most challenging conditions at the moment. As we only got 2 athletes left, both from Germany. The first one, Anne Heckel from Klingenthal, who made the switch from Nordic Combined to specialized ski jumping only this past summer. First time she's competing here in Eisenerz, actually, 92.5 meters, and also her wind compensation is quite high. So not a big surprise that she's currently in 8th position, as we already see the yellow bib, the last jumper in this first round, tied leader in the Intercontinental Cup ranking together with Taja Trbovšek of Slovenia is Julina Krajbich. And she also proves why that is. 99.5 meters for Julina. And that puts her into 2nd position, only 0.4 points behind Åsa Ture. So it's been a quick first round, but also quite an interesting one with quite a few very impressive jumps. Åsa Ture leads the field with 102.5 meters and 119 points. Only 0.4 points ahead of Julina Krajbich. Lia Böhme currently in 3rd place and Kim Amy Duszek on 4th. So a very strong position for Team Germany, as they also have Anne Heckel on rank number 9 and Alvina Holz on 11th. We also see a trouble of Slovenians in the top 10. Tinkara Komar, Isadora Kopac and Alda Koźnik on P5 to 7. Best Austrian at the moment, Hanna Wiegele on P9. P8, sorry. As they also managed to bring quite a few into their 2nd round. Only Chiara Kreuzer and Elisa Deubler not making it into the final. Kreuzer only missing out by 0.3 points. That's quite unfortunate for the Austrian. But nevertheless, we have quite the interesting situation ahead of the 2nd round. The first 8 athletes within 7.9 points, so it's all to play for then even the top 10 just within 10.6 points. And as you saw, things can change pretty quickly on this hill, which also allows to gain quite a bit of points due to the distances you can jump here. The hill record for women luckily, the picture was available until the end of the final round, so you didn't miss any actions, but apologies for this outage at the moment. We got the confirmation in the meantime for the starting time of the final round, which is 10:46 Central European time. So in 17 minutes, the action will be back. Welcome back, everybody. Just a couple of minutes ahead of the final round here in Eisenerz at the third FIS Intercontinental Cup competition for the women this winter. And we are already looking forward to the final round, obviously, but also to tomorrow's competition. And for this one, I already got an information to provide to you. Due to the weather forecast, tomorrow's program has been slightly adjusted. Therefore, we already start at 8:30 with the first round for the women and at 10:30 for the men. So, also in case you would like to watch these competitions, you might write it down into your calendar in order to not miss anything of the action we will still provide you. It's a wonderful weekend. As we already scroll through the starting list, we started with 32 competitors representing 11 different nations. Now we shrunk it down to 30 competitors from 9 nations. And I can also give you an update on the not permitted to start. We saw for Natalie Niedlova of Czechia, it's going to be her first yellow card of the season. No further sanctions to be afraid of for her, but also obviously something to keep in mind for the remainder of the season, which will host more Intercontinental Cups. Next weekend's coming up, the events in Lillehammer. The women will be jumping on the normal hill there. They will again compete along with the men, obviously, but they will jump on the large hill. Then we also got on 7th and 8th of February the competitions in Krań. A weekend later in Oberhof, which is the replacement venue of Brotterode, because their inrun tower was not getting ready in time for that weekend. And to wrap up the Intercontinental Cup season, there will be the final two competitions in Lahti on 13th and 14th of March 2026. But we now continue with the competition today, and the final rounds will be opened by Magdalena Dobla. Again, we are starting from gate number 30, so the jury didn't see any reason to change that. 81.5 meters first distance for Magdalena Dobla. And despite having not permitted to start, we still get to see an athlete from Czechia, Barbora Stepankova. 84 meters her distance, so she will keep the lead as of now and also keep the streak of her scoring points finishes. She finished 19th and 20th in Notodden, so the third Intercontinental Cup start in a row for her inside the top 30. Sophie Kotbauer. .88.5 meters the distance for her, so that it is quite a distance she puts between herself and the other two athletes. So let's see if she's able to climb up a couple of spots, as we now will see a duo of Polish athletes. The first one, Nicole Konderla-Juroszek. It's quite the fight between her and Kotbauer for the lead, but Nicole having the upper hand with her jump on 90 meters. So, no places to be lost for her, as we are also happy to see Kamila Karpiel being back in action. Probably didn't even expect to reach the final round in her first Intercontinental Cup appearance ever. And I'm honestly surprised to see her on that level. With 89 meters, she's able to maintain the lead over her teammate. So we can say pretty much bravo for this comeback. Next up, Luise Tritscher from the Austrian juniors team, actually from Ramsau, which we all know as a Nordic Combined World Cup host and also World Championships host in 1999. And her distance with 93 meters, the biggest one so far in this second round, and that's a clear lead for her. Almost 14 points, so more than almost 7 meters onto Carpiel, as each and every meter on this normal hill is worth 2 points. Simone Buff, last year 25th and 27th here in Eisenerz. So she might be able to improve on these results, especially with this jump on 91.5 meters. We're also still having a closer look on the wind conditions, but due to the fact that she gets plus 9.5 points, the highest amount so far, she keeps the lead over Trecza. So far, each and every athlete has kept the same position she had after the first round. So let's see if this also continues with Emily Teubner. Yeah, that should be the case. 95 meters, she jumps exactly the same distance as Buff earlier and therefore keeps her spots. 11 points the gap towards the Swiss athlete as we head over to Italy with Martina Ambrosi. Last season, P5 and P6 here in Eisenerz. So definitely good memories for the Val di Fassa local, but I'm afraid she's going to be the first one to lose at least one spot. That jump not on the same level as the previous ones with 88 meters, but it's only one position she's going to lose. Second place for Ambrosi, so Teubner climbing up at least one position. As we move back to Switzerland with Rea Krintlimann. Was part of the World Cup opening competitions, also part of the Swiss mixed team that finished 11th in Lillehammer. Swiss Olympic team hasn't been announced yet. That is going to happen on Monday, but it's fair to say she has good chances to claim the second spot Switzerland has in the women's competition, as she now takes the lead with her jump on 92.5 meters. Back in the ski jumping circuit and also back in the points is Tara Garefti-Moe. It's also the first time for her competing here in Eisenerz in ski jumping. But that jump not on the same level as the previous one with 83.5 meters, but also the conditions got worse compared to that. So that jump drops her to 6th rank at the moment. But nevertheless, we can already say that we've been quite blessed with the conditions so far. It's going pretty smoothly until now. And this is Sofia Mattila. .5 meters in the first round. So she's almost able to reach the same distance with 91.5 meters. And she's tying the lead together with Rea Krintlimann. It had to happen at some point. With this tight field spread, it's no real surprise that we get to see tight points. Here comes Taja Sitar, the Slovenian who scored a second place in the Alpine Cup in Einsiedeln in the summer season, actually, now with 92.5 meters. But that's a close one again. 0.5 points Sitar behind the two current leaders still, so they keep on climbing. Julia Ekier, the Finnish athlete. Oh, nice! A really cool jump for Julia. The first one to reach the K-point distance in this second round, 98 meters, and that is giving her the lead, obviously. By a fair margin, actually, so that's going to be the benchmark for the other athletes now coming up. The first one of them, Megan Watzak. Didn't compete in any competitions during the summer. She had a busy period also with school. But the form she's showing in the winter is fairly decent. 96 meters, but probably not enough to keep Ekier behind, and that's exactly how it is. 4.4 points are missing for Megan. Second place for her. Taya Kushir, the ski jumper from SSK Illyria, the same club as double Olympic champion Ursha Bogatai in Beijing 2022. So she definitely has a role model like her, or also the first Slovenian World Cup winner Spila Rogel in her home club. At 92.5 meters. Now the first athlete in a while even getting minus points, and that throws her back onto 7th position. But we stay with Team Slovenia. Jerica Jesenko. Scored her best career result even with her 12th place in Ljubno only 13 days ago. Now obviously is fighting to come back to the highest class in ski jumping. And that is a pretty solid jump for Jerica. 96.5 meters, but the minus points continue, and that's exactly why she moves back to 7th position at the moment. So even the tiniest changes in the wind conditions do make a big change on this hill when it comes to the calculation. Here comes Pia Stütz, the young Austrian, with another very good attempt. Always also considering the previous level the jumpers had. And this is going to be her 3rd point result in the Intercontinental Cup. 96.5 meters, 6th position at the moment, but it's also going to be a personal best for her, as the best result earlier was a 21st place in Oberhof last season. So far, 94 meters for Sarah, and 8th position at the moment in her first Intercontinental Cup competition in Eisenerz. Alwine Holz. Yeah, definitely an improvement compared to the first jump. Obviously, for her being one of the tallest jumpers in the women's fields at all, it's not easy to go through that bump right before the takeoff. But 97 meters, a very good distance for her at the moment, especially compared to how the athletes did previous to her. Second place, 2.9 points behind AKE, as we see Jessica Malsiner. Yeah, struggling to deliver 2 equal jumps in the competitions this season. 91 meters for Jessica. But on the upper hand, her wind compensation quite high, so that saves her a bit onto 4th position at the moment. Anne Heckel up next. Germans scored quite a decent halftime result, to say it like this. But she's not able to maintain the position she had after the first round with these 92 meters. Fair to say that the first jump was also a bit better when it comes to the technique, as it's pretty tight in the first few ranks. 4th place still quite okay for her at the moment. Here comes Hanna Wiegele. Spoken about the World Cup in Ljubno before. There she scored double points, quite a relief after a couple of tougher seasons for her, but also that jump quite decent for her. 98.5 meters. Only the second athlete in this final round to reach the K-point distance. And she's the first one to stop AKE's climb. Wiegele taking the lead ahead of the Finn. Aida Koźniak, still only 18 years of age. That's never to forget. .92.5 meters for Aida, who obviously is facing quite a few opponents within the Slovenian juniors team. And the result of the second round puts her back to 3rd place. So another spots gained for AKE as we move over to Isadora Kopač. Nice. Good jump for the 17-year-old in her only 3rd Intercontinental Cup appearance. 98.5 meters, equaling the longest distance of this round so far. And we can already announce that this is actually going to be her best Intercontinental Cup results. Previous one was a 10th place. If she stays in the ranking, she will definitely top that. Tinkara Komar also beating the K-point line. That's actually a pretty close race at the top at the moment. 98.5 meters for Tinkara, and this is giving her the lead by just 1 single point. And in the meantime, we got a disqualified noted by the jury, which is affecting Tara Gareth-Timotes. Her suit exceeded the allowed size by 20 millimeters, so she will not be in the final ranking. Because of that, Kim Emi Dušek with 97 meters, dropping to 4th position at the moment. But still 2 Germans to come as we now face the fight for the podium. First one, Lia Böhme. Oh, she makes it even closer, even tighter at the top. with this jump on 97.5 meters, but mainly due to the wind calculation, she is dropping to fifth position at the moment, behind teammates Kim Emidushek. So that also means Tinkara Kumar will score a podium today, as we now see the penultimate jump delivered by Julina Kreibich, trying to extend her lead in the standings by as much as possible. 99.5 meters, the best distance in this second round for the ski jumper originally from Eilenburg, a small town close to Leipzig, but this is putting her down to third place, so it's a double podium for Slovenia as Isadora Kopac keeps her second place. And now we will see who is going to win this competition. Is it going to be Åsa Ture? Yeah, it looks very much like that. Oh wow, what a performance from the Finn with 101 meters. She is the only athlete to beat the 100 meters distance in both jumps, but it's not enough for the victory. The wind compensation has spoken and has dropped Åsa Ture to third place. What a plot twist in the last moments of this competition. But it's going to be the first podium for the Finnish athletes in the Intercontinental Cup. Nevertheless, 3.3 points are missing for her to the victory, which is being claimed by Tinkara Komar. She climbed 4 positions as much as Isadora Kopac, who finishes second, only 1 point behind her teammate. So a Slovenian double victory here in the Erzberg Arena. And also behind the podium, it's super tight. Julina Kreibich only missing by 0.7 points, as you can see. And also Hanna Wiegele got pretty close with her decent second jump on 5th place. Yeah, even Kim Emidushek and Lia Böhme absolutely in striking distance to the podium places. A tight and close finish here in Eisenerz at the first Intercontinental Cup competition of this weekend. But as Taya Terboshek is not competing here, as I've mentioned, it also means that Julina Kreibich extends her points in the standings by 50 points, and she will get a second chance tomorrow. And as I've said right before the final round, the competition has been rescheduled tomorrow to 8:30 CET, so moved into the morning hours due to the weather forecast we are going to face. Also, the men's competition has been rescheduled. That one will start at 10:30, and the first one today at 2 p.m. So we'll be happy to welcome you on that live stream as well, as the men are preparing for their training, which will start at noontime pretty much. 12 at midday is the starting time of the first and only training for the men. The try round will start an hour later, and the competition, as I've mentioned, at 2 p.m. So if the conditions stay as stable as they have been throughout this women's competition. It's also going to be a very interesting one for the men, especially due to the fact that they don't have too many normal hill competitions in their Continental Cup calendar. So this is the final result. Tinkara Komar claiming the victory here in Eisenerz at the first of two competitions, which is also her first victory in the Intercontinental Cup. So congratulations to the Slovenian. Also congratulations to her teammate Isadora Kopac, her first podium being a second place in the Intercontinental Cup. The same goes for Osa Ture, who finished in third. A strong team result also for Germany, despite not scoring a podium. Julina Kreipich, Kim Emiduschik, Lia Böhme, Alvina Holz on positions 4, 6, 7 and 10. Best Austrian at their home event, Hanna Wiegele on rank number 5. And with Julia AK, we have another Finn in the top 10 on rank 8. And the third best Slovenian, Aida Kožniek, completing the top 10 on her ninth position. So while the organizers are preparing for the victory ceremony, also the equipment control is still being carried out, but as of now, we haven't got any other disqualifications besides Tara Garafti modes. And that disqualification also brings up a couple of athletes that would have finished behind her if she was to stay in the ranking. So we are not having any US Americans scoring a point today, but like I said, the next chance will be coming up tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. It's going to be early bird, as much as if you also want to watch the Women's World Cup from Sapporo, that will start at 3 a.m. Central European time. So it's going to be a night shift for those who will be watching that. Possibly another victory to be expected from Nika Prejoc, who tied an all-time World Cup record today. This was the 18th different venue she took a victory at. An achievement which was only previously been made by Sara Takanashi, actually. So today Nika won her 34th World Cup competition ahead of Abigail Strait from Canada and Anodine Ström finishing third. Nozomi Maruyama being the strongest Japanese on 4th place, ahead of the best German Selina Freitag on P5. Now we can confirm the results. No more changes after the equipment control. So the first Intercontinental Cup victory for Tinkara Komar is officially confirmed, as well as the first Intercontinental Cup podiums for Isadora Kopac and Osa Ture. So quite a few premieres within the podium finishers. And also the other results haven't been changed anymore. So we are happy to confirm that as we slowly coming to the end of this particular live stream. But of course, we will be back with the men's action, the competition starting at 2 p.m. Central European time. So we will be on air for you just a couple of minutes earlier. So for now, thank you for watching and hopefully see you in the afternoon. My name is Luis Holuch and I'm signing out for the moment. See you later.